Let me ask you something honestly. You've been working for years now. You wake up early. You show up on time. You do what's expected. So why does your bank account still feel like it resets every month? Same stress, same bills, same feeling that you're doing okay but not actually moving forward. This is the moment most middle-class people quietly realize something. They didn't mess up. They just followed the rules. And those rules almost never lead to the first $100,000. If you grew up middle class in the US, you were sold a very specific promise. Study hard, get a degree, find a stable job, climb slowly. Do this, and life will work out. Not luxury, but stability. Not rich, but safe. And for a long time, this promise did work. Your parents followed it. Your teachers believed in it. Your guidance counselor repeated it. So you trusted it. You didn't try to cheat the system. You didn't chase shortcuts. You didn't gamble. You did things the right way. And that's exactly why this feels confusing. Because somewhere along the line, the math stopped working, but nobody announced it. Let me tell you about Jake. Jake is not lazy. Jake is not bad with money. Jake is 39 years old, lives in Phoenix, works in IT support for a mid-sized company. Jake makes around $68,000 a year. On paper, Jake is doing fine. Here's Jake's story. After college, Jake made $48,000. He lived with roommates, drove an old Honda, saved a little. Then came the raises. At $55,000, he upgraded his apartment. At $60,000, he financed a newer car. At $65,000, he finally felt comfortable. Nothing wild, nothing irresponsible, just progress. 5 years later, Jake checked his savings. $7,400. No investments worth mentioning, no real buffer. One medical issue, one layoff. One bad year away from stress. Jake didn't fail. Jake did exactly what the system encouraged. Jake's situation is not rare. It's normal. The middle class doesn't get trapped by stupidity. It gets trapped by sequence. Income first, lifestyle second, savings last. Every upgrade feels earned. Every decision feels logical. And because nothing feels wrong, nothing gets questioned. The problem isn't spending too much. It's locking in expenses too early. Permanent rent upgrades, long car loans, monthly subscriptions that never leave. These costs don't feel painful. They feel invisible. Until years pass, and progress quietly stalls. Now let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah is also 29, also middle class, also earns around $70,000. Same city, same economy. But Sarah made one different decision. She delayed upgrades. Not forever, just longer than her friends. She kept roommates, even after promotions. She drove a used car, even when she qualified for better. She avoided locking in fixed costs. It wasn't fun. It wasn't Instagram-friendly, but it was temporary. At 31, Sarah crossed $100,000 in savings and investments. No side hustle hype, no crypto, no lottery, just margin. Now I will tell you the real difference. Jake and Sarah didn't differ in discipline. They differed in pressure. Jake built a life that required his paycheck. Sarah built a life that used her paycheck. That difference changes everything. Pressure forces bad decisions. Margin creates good ones. And $100,000 is the moment margin becomes real. What $100,000 actually means. Let's clear something up. $100,000 doesn't make you rich. It makes you unpanicked. It buys time. Time to say no. Time to think. Time to recover. Before it, money controls your mood. After it, money becomes background noise. That emotional shift is the real milestone. The middle class is optimized for comfort today, not freedom tomorrow. Comfort is addictive. Comfort feels responsible. But comfort creates fragility. A fragile life looks stable until it isn't. And most people don't realize how fragile they are until something breaks. Why saving feels impossible. Saving feels impossible because it's framed as sacrifice. But real saving is not about cutting joy. It's about delaying permanence. Temporary discomfort versus permanent financial pressure. One hurts, briefly. The other hurts quietly for decades. Stop measuring money in dollars. Measure it in months. How many months could I survive without income? That number tells you the truth. Most people don't like the answer because society rewards visible success. Cars, apartments, lifestyle. Quiet progress feels like falling behind, and most people would rather look successful than be secure. That's the real psychological battle. Once you prioritize margin over appearance, behavior changes. You stop rushing upgrades. You stop fearing setbacks. You stop living in quiet panic. Money stops being urgent. And urgency is what keeps people poor. Some people hit $100,000 at 25, some at 40. The age doesn't matter. Breaking the cycle does. The middle class isn't broken. The rules are outdated. And once you see that, you stop blaming yourself and start building margin intentionally. That's how the first $100,000 actually happens. Slowly, quietly, without drama. If this helped you see money more clearly, not fearfully, not emotionally, you can like the video and subscribe. This channel is for people who want calm, long-term financial thinking. No hype, no shortcuts, just clarity.